that everybody wants, he wants something too. And what he wants more than likely is a fit woman. So I'm gonna bring River up so she can introduce herself and just tell us what her channel is about. Hey, Solo TV, thank you so much for the support already. Thank you. Uh, my laptop's sticking. You know me and technological difficulties. So thank you so much, Solo. River, thank you so much for coming on. If you don't mind just introducing yourself and telling me what your channel is about.
Hi. Well, thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Take me for me. Take me how I am. But as Eugene said, and we talked about this briefly last night. Sorry, we talked about this briefly backstage. Danica Marie touched on this topic last night, and it was so amazing to touch on this because we had this plan from when I reached out in Monday or Tuesday. We
Yeah.
had this topic plan. So the fact that Danica touched on it last night is I love it because the more we talk about this subject, the more we're gonna, for lack of better words, shame the behavior. You said it's a mindset thing. All right, we don't realize how much our food influence our behavior. It's influence how we think and feel about ourselves. So if we feel, if you eat the junk food and you feel down, you feel depressed, you feel unhealthy, you just feel blah, and then somebody come to you and say, hey, take off your bonnet, or say, hey, present yourself best, you get that defense. So you see how it comes all the way back around to our food and our health. And I don't know, like, we just don't want to hear it. We want to put it on the back burner. We want to say, take me for me, take me how I am. And then we also want to blame all these diseases. We always want, not, I'm sorry, not diseases, but we always want to blame our hormones for why we're fat. We blame that we had kids, even if our kids are
It's
18.
Thank
big.
you.
It's big.
Grown. We blame it on baby fat. We blame it on stress. We blame it on all these things rather than looking in the mirror. And I do want to touch on the Shaharazad point that we talked about backstage. So for those of you guys who don't know Shaharazad, she's basically
Well, first of all, if I'm echoing, I'm sorry. First of all, you can't blame it on something that it is. I do think that we do deserve to be in shape. I think we should give our all. But one thing I would not do is shame anybody. Because I don't walk in their shoes. Maybe I know that's something that you guys may not want to hear, but we do not walk in these ladies' shoes. We don't know why that bonnet is on their head. Maybe they do need to see a therapist. Maybe they do feel bad about themselves. Maybe food is what, but we don't know what they've been through. So to even have a conversation about it, I think is a bunch of bullshit. But I still do think that if because you're being lazy, that's another total different thing. You're being lazy and you just want to eat and you don't care about yourself, and that's something different. But some people do have real problems. Some people have problems. Some people have to take steroids because they need the steroids that makes them big. Some people have to take certain medications. Certain medications do make you bigger. If somebody's wearing a bonnet, you really need to ask yourself, why does that person have a bonnet on? Because that's not normal. It's not normal. Now, hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Dwayne, hi, Dwayne. So you have to say to yourself, that is not normal. Maybe that person is going through something. Maybe they're depression. We don't know what happened in people's lives to sit there and to shame anybody. So on this particular video, I am not in agreement, but I will hear what they have to say. But this is video saying that they are detrimental to our community. No, you can pick and choose who you want to pick. If you feel that woman is too big for you, then you need to keep on moving. If you feel that man is too big for you, then you need to keep on moving. But they are not detrimental. Thank you, Stuart. They are not detrimental to our community. You know how big is the community? And what community are you talking about? It's communities everywhere. Is the community in whole? Some big girls have more strength and courage than the other ladies. That's thinking because they small and they fit. Now let's go.
Just the queen
Yeah.
of all this conversation. If you do not know about Shaharazadi, I would not feel any kind of way if you click off this video and go watch her. But she's
Right.
just the queen of this topic, and she talks about how she got into this space of highlighting the
Mhm.
dynamic between black men and black women was when she realized the effects that pork have on the body, and she was going around doing these tours telling the black family like, hey, stop eating pork is not good. And then she realized that the families were still eating the pork. And when she dig a little deeper and did more research, she realized that it was the women who
Mhm.
were still feeding the family the pork. And a man come home from work, he's not like, if he said he don't want to eat pork and his wife cook pork and he's super hungry, what he's gonna do? Eat the pork. Um, so y'all need to bring oh, I wish say you need
Me
to bring
too.
Shahrazad Ali
Me
here.
too.
Oh,
Me too. I'm here for it.
That would be incorrect. That would be incorrect because of Shahara Ali. Because of her religion, they do not eat pork. So she's not cooking pork for her man. Her religion states that she does not eat pork. So uh, telling people not to eat pork has nothing to do. If the woman is submissive and the man say no pork, then the woman is not going to eat pork. So that statement right there is a little incorrect. I don't know why they picked today to be giggly, and I mean I usually like kind of agree with a lot um, Nyla has to say, but today she is, I don't know because she's with her friend, but that's not true. Hey, Tinto La Fatana. La Fatana. Let's go.
wish. But
Grateful.
and so I'm highlighting this on fat women. I'm highlighting this on the mothers, on the females, because we are the one who are preparing the food. We are the teachers. We are the one that's paving the path for what our families eat, for how our families eat. What are your thoughts on that, River?
I agree. I mean, like the woman is the person who is supposed to be, bringing the food. As we know, like cooking for the husband, the kids, this. Like we know that mainly, not all the time, but mainly the woman is the one who is, providing nutrients to her family. And I think it's even a stronger point, and to go further to say that the foods that the mother or the wife of the home is cooking is either healing her family or it's killing her family. And that's rough, but that's true.
Ooh, that is, oh, that's a good point. Because you see,
Yeah.
when you put it like that,
Hmm.
it just shows.
Yeah.
Because the food that you're feeding your family, you're right. You're either healing or you're killing. And then
Yeah.
we see the weight of these women. It's
Mhm.
not just the excuses. It cannot. I'm not trying to not highlight your hormones. We know it happened. I'm not trying to downplay different reasons why you might gain an extra.
Yeah, but
But
you are.
honestly,
But you
it's just
are.
an excuse, because say you have
Hey,
hormonal
Spice.
problem, or say thyroids or something,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
It doesn't mean that you just have to be fat. All that means is that you have to edit your diet. You have to up your workouts. You have to adjust to
No.
your new health,
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
your new risk, your new whatever you're going through.
Uh-uh.
What are your thoughts on this? And I hate to use the word lazy, but we have to call a spade a spade. We have to be sensible. And that's I used to have a banner that says I'm not trying to bash, shame, insult, but I just had to take it off because if bashing is what it takes to see
Yeah.
change in our community, then we need to start bashing. What are your thoughts on this? Just this whole, so many black women have this "I'm a boss" mindset. I have my own. I have my bag. But then when you look at their health, when you look at their weight, it screams laziness. What you gotta say? What you gotta say about that?
So, okay. I first of all, I just want to say I really love this conversation, and I love the vibe that we have right now. And I wouldn't be myself if I didn't point it out mid conversation, just because of the way that this is coming across. I just want it to be known that we are clearly, and it's evident to everyone, even in the comments, that this is a place that's coming from love. Right? Hi, Poor Man's Podcast. So I think
I
that,
know. Shout out to
yeah,
Poor Man's Podcast for being in the chat.
yeah. But I think it's so necessary that we talk about the fact that, like, this whole surgery to fix the issue, right? Like, a lot of women have been just kind of like conditioned that they can just like save their money. I don't know how. I honestly don't know how these women are paying for these surgeries, because they're very expensive. So I don't understand it. But they don't work out. They don't want to eat right. They don't want to do any of the work, but they can get the benefits of having a better body by going to getting surgery, getting lipo, getting BBL, getting this, all of these things. And I feel like it's obviously a huge hindrance to our community, and these are one of the reasons why people have this lazy mindset, this lazy mentality. But it doesn't matter how much liposuction you get in the world. You still need to do some cardio. You still need to get your heart pumping. You still need to drink water. Like, you still need to eat leafy greens, healthy foods, cmos. Like, you need to do these things. You need the minerals that your body needs to survive, to function, so that your kidney, your lung, all of these things can function to their best ability. So the outer is fine, but a lot of these women are completely beautiful on the outside. Your mindset messed up, not healthy, have a BBL, have high blood pressure, right? Like borderline diabetic. You know what I'm saying? So the work has been taken out of it because we live in such a fast food lifestyle, right? Like, I don't.
Okay, so the question is, what do you do about it? What do you do about it? Do you have any type of program? Do you do a video? Like, do a video on how to, you know, better your life, you know, and tackle the different things. Just telling somebody these things, it's a hurtful thing, and sometimes that might bring somebody into more depression, and we already have enough of that going around. We have enough people. They have enough people bashing them already. They have enough people talking about their weight already. They look in the mirror. I hate to tell you guys that. They look in the mirror and they already know they're big. So how about doing a video talking about diabetes? How about doing a video talking about thyroid problems? You know, if we want to help, let's help for real. Let's help for real. Like I said, I cannot say what they're saying is wrong with it. What are we going to do about the problem? And how are they detrimental to our community? And if you put that word detrimental, that's a strong word. You're trying to say they messing up the community. They making our community terrible. So what are we going to do about it? But we'll continue with them. We'll continue because I still like her. I still like her. But that doesn't mean I have to agree. And I do believe that we do need to be in shape. ladies, we do need better health, better eating problems, and we do need to be in shape. That I'm not going to take away. But what I'm not going to do is shame anybody. They've been shamed long enough. They've been shamed. They've been talked about. They've been picked on. They've been picked on. And some women cannot help it. And you cannot, if you're eating if you have a certain medicine, it makes you eat. Now you could say that you can choose healthier foods, but it doesn't take away. They're going to still gain weight from it because that's what the medicine does. If you have steroids, that's what the medicine does, protisone or whatever you call it, right? It can cause them to eat more. Yes, Stu of Art. So you have to be very careful when you talk about people. And sometimes it's just hard to get that baby fat off. It's really hard when you have children and you got to watch your children. You don't have time. So, some women have to be taught little things they can do in the house. But we got to start teaching. But let's finish hearing them.
Like what I see on Instagram, I'm just gonna keep on scrolling. Okay, I'm bored now. I'm gonna go do this. Okay, I'm gonna go on, this platform or that. Like it's just this gimme, quick mentality. And everybody needs to slow down and really think about the things that are happening and the changes that are happening because you can't undo it.
And it's so funny with you saying that. It reminds me of how women are on social media, fronting on social media, putting on a fake. Because shout out to Sharday. She mentioned on Danika's live the other day that majority of black women are broke. A majority of black women are make the average salary in black women amongst black women is like 23 or something like that. So come on, let's call it spade this way. We broke, right? But everybody on social media taking trips, doing, and you're right, those surgery costs a lot. But it's just to show how they're fronting, they're acting as if I'm healthier because they're taking the fat out their stomach. I saw a girl today. I was with my sister and her upper body super fat, lower body super fat. Of course, her butt looking like, you ever seen Bug's Life? The ants on Bug's Life? It's just like, it's just up, but her stomach is just flat. And I'm like, so fat goes everywhere in her body except for her stomach. Like, come on. So with that, no, she's not taking care of herself. She got her surgery, yeah. She removed the fat cells from her stomach, yeah. But she wasn't doing anything to stay in shape. She's not doing anything to get fit. And as Poor Man's Podcast, I thank you so much for the super chat. I'm about to read them in a minute. But as Poor Man Podcast always said, your weight is your wallet. So and to his comments on the screen, just like how we can demand that men pay on the dates, men do this, men do that. Men should be able to demand us looking good.
Yeah.
Men should be able to demand us looking fit. Let's dive into the pushback that these men get. One of them would be, oh, you say you want one thing, but they're still getting they're still getting validation on social media. Let's discuss those men who claim that they want big women, because we even talked about that briefly on Monday, who are still in these big women DMs and who are still giving attention to these big women, making these women think that they're wanted. What are your thoughts on that?
So I love that you asked that, because fetishes exist, right? So we can talk about the fetishes, but yes, bigger women. Listen, I know you see just like how I see. We see big women all the time walking around with strollers, right? So they're not impregnating themselves, but the issue is that they are indeed getting intimacy. For sure, they're absolutely getting intimacy, but for the high value men that everybody talks about that they want, right? This small portion of men that everybody's entitled to, that they deserve. Who are they marrying? What do these women look like?
Hey guys, welcome to Forward. We're a new type of doctor's office that's providing preventative primary care. We've got world-class doctors supported by the most advanced medical technology. Now, one of the really cool things about Forward is you can schedule same-day visits, there's no wait times, and we don't charge copays. So after your self-service check-in, then you're going to head back to our biometric body scanner. Now, the body scanner's purpose is to track trends, monitor progress, but also identify health risks earlier. Here, check it out. So this is it, and I'm super excited to show it to you guys today. All I'm going to do is just step onto the scanner like so. Next, I'm going to tap into our demo account. I'm going to choose my sex. And what it's first doing is it's creating and building a thermal map of my body, and it's allowing us to see my temperature in real time on the screen, which is pretty cool. And in a moment, the body scanner is just going to prompt me to take my left hand, just lay it flat here on the ledge like so, and I'm just going to slide it straight back towards the wall, just like the photo is asking me to do. Now, what's happening is something called red light spectroscopy, and that's just light shining through my hand and finger, allowing us to see how my blood's actually flowing. First, you're seeing heart rate, but using that same technology, it's also able to measure the amount of oxygen in my blood, which is known as my blood oxygenation. So now what would happen is it'd be me and the doctor working together in our exam room, building a comprehensive health picture. And the first thing that we're going to do when we have you in the room is we're going to draw your blood. And generally, a lot of our members come to us and say, hey, I have to wait usually 3 to 5 days, maybe a week for my blood work to come back. And that's when we thought, why don't we just build a blood processing lab on site?
Exactly.
It takes 12 minutes for the blood work to come back. And what we do to make for a very clean and easy experience is we use what we call an infrared vein mapper. Check this out.
And we can't talk about the men who have been married to these women from the 80s, 90s, you know what I'm saying, that have sustained great relationships and their woman has maybe put on weight and stuff like that over time. That's a whole different scenario because their connection has surpassed a lot of different things, especially if they've been married like 40, 50 years. But talking about women who are in this open dating market, who are, you know, as single as a dollar bill and have all of these demands, what are you, okay, this opens that other question. What are you bringing to the table?
Huh?
I am the table.
I'm the table.
I'm the table.
You know, and men, I don't know where we saw this, but somebody was saying that all people are visual creatures. And it's not true. Women are visual creatures, but we're so emotional. We will just, oh, I just love you, baby. Oh, honey, oh, look at the little belly on his, you know, he has a little belly. I just love him anyway because he's just my baby. Oh, that's my man. But men are not like that. Men are visual creatures. Men look at you, and if you have especially a strong alpha male, let's talk about it. If you walk past and you're not looking too good, that's a problem for him, right? He already has an attitude because he can go outside, he can go literally to the grocery store and see a million beautiful women. Why wouldn't he want to see that in his home? Why don't you feel your man deserves that?
And that's what I always.
What makes you think that any alpha male and all alpha males can get any woman that they want? What would make you think that? What would make you think that? Because they know, they perceive themselves as alpha. And remember, being alpha is what you think about yourself. Because somebody else may go, oh no, that person is not alpha. So it's what you perceive. So what makes you think that all alphas can get any woman that they want? And what makes you think that they're so shallow that they're just seeing visual creatures? They could work with somebody, a woman, that can open a mind to other things. They can really, you don't know how somebody can fall in love. You do not know how somebody can fall in love. Yes, they can get a plethora of beautiful women. Yes, most of them can. But not all alphas can get anybody that they want. Because, like you said, it's a lot of alphas. So that means people have choices. That means women, good looking women, have choices. So if they want an alpha man, what if they don't want that alpha man? They want that alpha man. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I always say, I'm not letting myself go. Even if I get lazy and just don't feel motivated to work out, I'm not like, after a certain point, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for my man because I want him to be like, how unfair it is for him to meet me at a dress size 4. Then
Okay.
he put a ring on my finger. We signed the paperwork. And then after 2 or 3 kids, he's stuck with us dress size 15. Like, come on, you know? We enter these relationships with it one-sided because what about, as Poor Man Podcast, shout out to you, what about if all of a sudden the man stop providing? These women are leaving marriages because the man can no longer make them happy for any little thing. What if the men were supposed to say, okay, bet, let's flip it, I'm gonna start leaving marriages because you get fat, I'm gonna start leaving marriages because I'm no longer attracted to you? And honestly, I know it's women's responsibilities, our responsibility to take our health in our own hand. But if men started speaking up and saying, and for lack of better words, bashing, shaming these kind of women, saying, listen, straightforward, I don't like your friend because she's fat, do not hook me up with the fat friend. If they were supposed to demand dating apps like Bumble, just like how Bumble can have your height preferences, if they should be able to demand Bumble to have weight preferences too. We want equality. Let's keep it fair and balanced. Let me catch up on the super chats before we because I'm behind. Poor Man Podcast said, does a woman care about a man's excuses for being broke? Exactly. She does not. She just leave him like that. Um Women can openly shame men for being broke. How you want a BBL but can't make a BLT with turkey and bacon? That's a good one, right? Thank you so much for your support. Philip J dropped $10. Thank you so much. And we have Danica in the building. Thank you, Danica. We mentioned Danica's live stream last night. I was cracking up and I was working late yesterday and she was doing that live stream about weight and I had to pause my work, mute my work stuff every minute because she was going in on that. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and check that out. And we need to start having these conversations. Be brutally honest, because we can't continue to tiptoe around it because it's getting worse and worse. We see Lizzo as a body positivity. What is positive? Come on, let's be honest. What is positive about Lizzo? And I think Eugene had made a super. Let me see. I can't pull it up here, but I can read it. Big Shirley has her ego boosted by the sisterhood for so many years that she believes her obesity is black men.
Hey, you know what's better than a $5,000 PC?
What?
A $5,000 PC that costs $0. It's time to give you free stuff thanks to our friends at Honey. That's right, you could win a $5,000 computer just by adding Honey to your browser right now at joinhoney.com/Linus giveaway. And it's the gift that keeps on giving, because when you're shopping online, Honey automatically searches millions of promo codes and drops the best one it finds into your cart. Yep, that's it. You can save money by doing nearly nothing. No more manually hunting for promo codes. Plus, it works on tons of your favorite sites. The places you already shop. So this PC has a 3080 Ti in it. You know how much one of those costs right now? Trick question, because you don't need to know. Joinhoney.com/Linus giveaway. Go there. Win that PC, and after you win it, you can still put Honey on it and keep saving. I mean, you should probably put Honey on every computer you have, right? No purchase necessary. See the official rules at the link right here.
What if you could make a full-time living online, getting paid for your advice? You might not know this, but there is a surge of people launching brand new websites that are making between $5,000 and $10,000 a month, getting paid for their expertise and their knowledge. People like Jude DePaula, who sells a course about designing a beautiful home, or Kara Stein, who teaches people how to write a best-selling book, and Hunter Masters, who teaches guys how to dance with their wife or girlfriend. My name is Scott Moran. I'm the creator of Samcart, one of the top e-commerce platforms in the world. And all of these three people use our software to launch and sell their own products and services, which means I get to see behind the scenes of what's working for these and thousands of other businesses. So if you want to know how to get paid for your advice, your knowledge, or your expertise, then do not miss our next free training, where we reveal the simple 10-step system that all of these people use to launch their own digital product. Inside of this training, I'm going to reveal the most profitable niche to sell to, what type of product you should create, how to create that product in under 72 hours, what to name it, what to price it, how to find tons of people who will buy it online, and the simple one-page template that you can use to sell it. This training is 100% free and only lasts about 30 minutes, so it is well worth your time. And if you're thinking, why would you just give this process away? The answer is very, very simple. My hope is that you use the 10 secrets I'll show you to build your own six-figure online business, and then use Samcart to power it. To get access to this training, just click the button down below this video.
We Big Shirley sit there and talk about how men who don't want fat women just can't handle them. Men who prefer, and you see the thing is, for the longest I did not like Monique, the comedian, because she can go on stage and talk about skinny bees.
Okay, hold up.
Talk
Pause.
about it.
Pause.
I'm gonna give you the floor. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Okay, I want you to continue your point, but I cannot believe you just said that, because I literally used to say the same exact thing. There was that movie that Monique had. I think it was called
Fat Girls, when she went to
Girls,
Africa.
something like that, right? Something like that. And I just remember, like, we're Caribbean, but people just eat, right? People just be eating stuff. So, there is a lot of women. I grew up at one particular space in time. I was around women who were like kind of like distant family to me. This is like treading on different waters, but I have to talk about it, right? And they were bigger, right? They were bigger, just naturally, just kind of like, not naturally, but they were bigger girls.
They was naturally bigger.
And
you said it right the first time. They were naturally.
Of some things that she said in the movie, like, "Oh, y'all skinny girls don't understand," or "Y'all skinny girls," they would do it so much to me, right? And try to make me feel like I'm inadequate or something is wrong with me because I'm slim. And I was like, I remember one time I was just like, so if I were to switch this narrative on you, how would you feel? Because a lot of women who are bashing, right, where they talk about the bashing and the shaming, all that kind of shaming culture, it's not necessarily even from the slim women. It's the big women who turn it around to make it seem like something is wrong with you.
Exactly.
So I agree with your sentiments on why you said that you
bashed
you
them
felt that way, because I used to feel the same exact way. I used to be like, why is this so thing? And look who lost so much weight.
Huh. The thing is, you know what I honestly think it is? And I'm just enjoying this conversation.
Me too.
As you guys come in, don't forget to like the live stream, please. I've been forgetting to say that because I'm just so involved. What I think it is, big girls, they are insecure in themselves. So when you're insecure, you think that everybody's already seen your insecurity. So you, as a healthy, skinny girl, right, might just say, you might just say something about, girl, oh, my shirt is healthy, loose, or do something, and they take it as, oh my gosh, you're so offensive, oh my gosh, you're bashing, where you're not even paying attention to their weight. So in return, they're thinking to highlight or to shame you, to call you all sort of names because you choose to not be 300 pounds. It's ridiculous, and it's like, it's such a double standard. And Janika touched on it last night too, because Janika is, small frame, vegan, healthy, looks good. Looks good. Her husband is a personal trainer, and she touched on how, growing up, people would say like, oh, you're too skinny. How many times do you hear that being Caribbean?
Oh, you look sick. You look look sick.
And it's like,
literally normal.
We all have that aunt who, every time I come home from college, she will say like, oh girl, you put on weight,
Yes. Yes.
And then people would always say like, oh, you need to stop telling people that they put on weight, you need to whatever. But nobody advocates for when you're telling the girl that she's too skinny. And when she need for put on, she need, I'm talking pato. Conversation is getting good. That she's too skinny, or that she needs to, nobody's advocating for that side. And like, if we want to keep it balanced, we gotta keep it fair and balanced.
And I really love that. I honestly, if I'm being completely transparent and honest, you speaking of Janika has opened a whole, so I definitely want to say hi to Janika, and then I want to definitely check out her content, because something that these conversations are so necessary and need to happen. Because I don't know if you've ever seen, like, on social media, like, you'll see like people who like make these memes of like how our moms were, and it's like, were we all raised in the same house? Like, were we all, so we have a lot of similar experiences from our parents, and this whole narrative of like, you were literally just like the perfect size for your frame, for your age, for all of these things. Oh, you look skinny, we need to put some meat on your bones, we need to fatten you up. For what? Why? Like, why? No. You need to be active. You need to be this size, because you're only going to keep getting older, but they want you to be big, 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 big. Next thing you know, you can barely breathe. And then what are they going to say to you? Wow, she look big. Look how she look big. Wow, I can't believe so fat. And it's like, but you're the one who's painted this narrative that skinny is bad and fat is good.
Exactly. And not to say, shout out to the super chat on the screen. No man wants a woman bigger than him, taller or wider, and no woman wants a man smaller than her. And that's facts if we're calling a spade, and if we're keeping it honest. I see you in the chat talking about fat pum pum.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You don't want a fat guy neither. Don't
but
judge.
I want to say that not all skinny person, not all skinny people, not all of them are healthy. We have unhealthy.
Exactly. Not all
the narrative that's
being
pushed, though, is that not all fat people are unhealthy. And it's like, but what are the chances? First of all, yes. Yes.
Right,
I mean,
first of all,
if you're seeing the fat on the outside, just imagine the fat on the inside. Come on.
I saw a woman who's actually on she's on social media, and I mean, when I say this girl is fit, I mean she is fit. I mean, the abs look like somebody carved them out in her stomach, right? She works out every day. I'm going to show you her Instagram. I don't want to call her name because I don't want to, but she literally did a live the other day on her Instagram, and I was watching it, and she took some kind of like
let me let you in on a little secret here. All of these online gurus
they let her like see all of the
how the food affects your brain, your mental, your physical, your emotional. How can, like, what are we doing to our children? We're literally killing our children, and nobody is calling us out. Nobody is saying, listen, this is unacceptable. And yes, guys, don't forget to like. There's 166 people watching. I want to say this is the most I've ever had in one of my live streams. So shout out to you guys. I want to say it's because I have River on. River, shout out to you.
It's a vibe.
Like, it's so heartbreaking to witness just how we are dealing with our health and fitness.
I just want to say one quick thing. I'm sorry. Please don't forget your point. But I just see a comment from Jamrock. It says, I see kids here eating Pop-Tart for breakfast, right? So they'll eat Pop-Tart for breakfast, which is sugar. They'll eat like salty food for lunch. Then they have like a high sodium for dinner with juice that's so sweet. The sugar is so sweet. And then you know what the parents tell them? Go sit down.
Play a video game.
Somewhere. How? Their mind, between the sugar and the sodium, their brain, they can't sit down. They're on 10. And then they want to tell them, oh, it's ADD or ADHD, or it's
and then pump you with medication.
Okay.
So why not make a video about nutrition? Why talk about the people when you could just make a video about nutrition? So you can show these parents what is a good healthy breakfast or not healthy breakfast. So is this video about shaming and talking about women, or is it about helping the women? Maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know.
See,
Danica touched on that. I swear,
we're going there. We're going
I know.
there. We're going there.
Danica touched on that last night. So because she's saying, like, if you go into the doctor and they're telling
Hey
you,
Chris,
okay, the
Chris.
food is the source
Hey
of
my
your
baby.
your illness, and then they go and say, okay, take this medication. Why not just tell you to change the food? Why not just tell you to eat healthier? But they're gonna pump you with medication, and you know what it is? I think like, it's a lack
Some
of
people
structure in
need
the household. It's a
medication.
lack of discipline in the household, and we know that our dads bring discipline and structure.
Mhm.
And it's because our single parent households are lacking the fathers in the household. That's why we see it happening like this. It's just it's embarrassing to say the least, to see where our kids are going, and then to see these women who are calling themselves boss ladies, who are calling themselves top, nobody can tell them anything because they do what they want, but they're killing their children, and literally nobody can tell them anything because they throw a fit and you say, oh, you're bashing us, and then they come up with names, fat phobia. Like, what is fat? Come on. I saw a TikTok of a girl say, oh, if you work out and your only reasons for working out is to look good, then you're fat phobic. Like,
Okay, so I'll be that then. Okay, so I'll be it then. I'll be it then. like I literally, whenever they make up all these names, I'm like, okay, then yeah, okay. Yeah, shouldn't you want to look good? Wouldn't you be more confident? Wouldn't you be happier in yourself? Because they glamorize this whole narrative of like, oh yeah, you could be big. They cannot find clothes. They
oh
don't
my
have
gosh,
the
you
things
touch
they
on it.
want
Oh
to
my
wear.
God. You touch on it. They constantly have to be increasing the size of the clothes. I found out the other day that we now have a double G bra. Double G. I didn't even know it goes up that, not G, J. Double J. I didn't even know it goes up that far.
Mhm.
I
Now
thought
you
it stopped
know.
at double D.
Now you
Like, I
know.
didn't, but they're constantly having to
Now
increase
you
the size
know.
of the clothes. They're constantly having to increase the size of the belt that they have on the seat belt what they have on the plane. They're constantly having to increase these things to accommodate our women
Mhm.
getting so big.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And then because they're increasing these things, in their head they're thinking, oh, I can still fit here, so I must be good, not realizing that they had to triple the size of the chairs for you
Yeah,
to sit in.
yeah, but I can still fit, so we're fine. No.
It's like, come on.
And then again, I have to say this again. It's the conversations that we are having are out of love, but for
Mhm.
some reason
Out of
the
love.
narrative is painted that if you're
Out of
having these
love.
conversations, it's because you hate me. So now it's hateful and it's ill speech and all of these things. It's all of this, but it's like, but they don't like you. They obviously don't like you, because if you go into communities that are predominantly uh I'll just say economically, flourishing, what do you see around the areas? You see a Jamba Juice. You
Oh,
see all these smoothie places. You
oh.
see all of these healthy restaurants. But go a little farther down south or east or wherever that community is, and what do you see? You're gonna see
I swear.
Popeyes, Church's Chicken, KFC, Taco Bell. How come you don't see that where the other? But isn't it the same food? Isn't it all the same things? So how come you don't see it over there?
It's so funny you said that.
You know what else you see? You see rehabs. You see rehabs for people who's dying to stay skinny. You forgot that part. You see rehab. You see rehab for people who sticking their finger down their throat to stay skinny. And the same way you talk about big people and what they don't go through and what they should go through, you need to know what some skinny people go through to stay fit. You see a lot of rehab places for people who who's skinny, want to stay skinny, who throw up their food, who don't eat, who don't eat nothing but crackers. You forgot about them people. You forgot about them people that's dying to stay skinny. And I mean that literally. You forgot you see them places too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everybody got problems. I don't care what size you are. Everybody got problems. A lot of these men got these trophy women. They need to know how they women. Just because you see them doing exercise and stuff, you don't know if that's how they stay skinny. They hide a lot of stuff from you, men. Women hide a lot of stuff from you. You have no idea how they stay fit. So the same way you can say, hey, big women, they don't think good of themselves and why they don't eat better, and you thinking because you see somebody fit. Thank you, Dwayne, and thank you for always supporting this channel. You and Caroline, wasn't for you and Caroline, I would not have a channel. Dwayne and Caroline is what keep this channel going. So I appreciate you. So as I was saying, it's easy to look at somebody and think this one don't care and this one does care. One may not care too much, one may care too much. So you can't go into these lives and say, hey, I'm in these rich areas and look at these people. They all, oh my God, they are perfect. Ain't no such thing as a perfect person. There's not one perfect person out there. The same way you gotta wonder why that woman have on a bonnet. It's not how you start, it's how you end. Exactly, Dwayne.
It's so funny you said that because I recently moved and I'm still trying to get familiarized with my areas. So me and my sister was driving around today and she was like, is this the hood? And I was like, girl, of course it's the hood. There's a Taco Bell right there.
So exactly, Chris.
Because we know, like,
exactly, Chris.
You mark it. You're like, okay, wait, boo. What's that? That's churches. Okay, no, we need to keep driving.
Popeyes. If there's a Popeyes right there, it's the hood.
What?
It's so true. And the thing is that, people don't pay attention to these things, but we can say these things and people can be like, oh, wait, that is true. So why are they feeding these people foods that are keeping them alive and feeding us foods that are not going to help us or bring health to our bodies?
That part is
that. And then you'll have people who are in those same neighborhoods that are like, I'm not drinking that stuff because that stuff nasty.
You brought up cmos earlier today. You brought up cmos earlier, and I let me remember my thought. Let me read the super chat. Snuggles, being very sarcastic. Let me put that out there. Said, no, it's because women can do everything better without a man, and the man is of no consequence in the household. Man, bad, good woman. Man, bad, woman, good. Thank you so much for your support, Snuggles. Snuggles always being sarcastic.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generous super chat. Femininity times two. Thank you. We need to normalize this kind of conversation. It's not two women talking about how much men are the issues in our community. It's not too much two women just talking about problem. We're actually talking about solutions. And unless we can have this discussion, unless we can start calling a spade a spade, we will never see change in our back community. We had 200 people watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's the highest I've ever had on a live stream. So thank you guys so much for your support. Let's touch on, because you mentioned the food, how people saying, oh, well, that's nasty. I remember the first time I had cmos, I almost threw up. Now I'm at the point where I eat cmos every single morning. It's going to be nasty to you if you do not eat it. Those green juice and stuff is because your body is not used to it. So of course, initially you're going to reject it. You're not going to like it. But you have to start taking your health more seriously. prevention is so much better than cure. And if we're gonna get to the point where we're like, oh, I'm not gonna eat that because it's nasty, what, you rather just die?
So
So I did a video on cmos. cmos is not for everybody. Before you listen to these health gurus, make sure you check with your doctor. If you have low blood pressure, cmos is not for you. If you have any type of herpes, cmos is not for you. When somebody say, oh, I drink this and this is healthy, go to your doctor. Some of that stuff may not go with your medicine. Some of that stuff may not go with your medicine. Please be very careful with the cmos. Be careful where they get it from. Be careful how it's grown. Make sure that it's real cmos. I tell you guys all the time, cmos is not for everybody. I did a video on that already. I will not go back. You will have to go find the video about cmos. Okay, now let's go. And I'm proud of you, Chrissy. I'm proud of you, baby boo. Proud of you.
I'm glad that you said that. It's because it's literally a choice that you have to make. This is what you want to do. Like, and I remember I used to drink like the aloe vera, right? I honestly do it here and there, but I used for a while I was doing it like almost every morning, right? The fresh aloe plant, just put it in the blender, add some alkaline water, blend it up, and just drink it. And people used to be like, oh my gosh, how do you drink that? And I'm like, I know, but at the same time, it's because I'm not ingesting this for like, oh, let's have some ice cream and watch a movie. That's not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because I know that my body needs it. I know that this is going to clean my colon and give me a reset that I need. Because if people are having brain fog, you can't focus properly, you go to sleep and you wake up and you're still restless, check your colon. That's where all of the diseases stem from. That's where all of the issues stem from. That's where you literally carry stress in your colon, because when you're stressed out, you eat things that you're not supposed to. You have to go to the bathroom constantly. If we look at babies eat something, they go to the bathroom. They eat something, they go to the bathroom. If your body is not flushing itself rapidly, if you can't remember the last time that you went to the bathroom, that's a problem.
That is so true. That is so true. And you guys need to, in saying that, you guys need to really research Dr. Sebi. You're familiar with Dr. Sebi?
Oh yeah.
He talks about that. He talks about the gut health. He talks about all those things. And we mentioned earlier how they will just put medication. They'll just give you medication instead of just going to the roots of it. Snuggle said, all you Jamaicans love KFC. Yes, we definitely do. I don't know why you people are acting like you do not like chicken there. There's a difference. There's no difference with people in Jamaica. Absolutely no difference, because we talked about that earlier today, how they glamorize, they call it fluffy over there, being fluffy. The only thing I will say difference in Jamaica, we don't have access to as much fast food as we do here, and not at a reasonable price. I remember fast food for me was beef patty,
right,
and cocoa bread. And that, I mean, it's not the
cocoa bread, right? And the cocoa bread, that will swell you up. But exactly, it's not the same as eating this whole burger, fries. This. It's not the same thing. It's not a beef
patty and cocoa bread will do you good. Over here, it's like burgers, fries, drinks. Extra, you can extra large. I went to that was a point I wanted to make too. I went to Panera Bread today, and it's like they're thinking, how can we kill these people? Panera Bread have this new thing. I swear to Panera Bread have this new thing on the menu where they put toast, and they put mac and cheese in the middle. Cheesy mac and cheese in the middle of toast. That's carbs on top of carbs.
Starch and starch. What do you need this for? What do you need this for?
What is the purpose of it?
To eat.
And it's like,
You can
then
indulge sometime,
I always ordered my Mediterranean veggie. And then
Mhm.
she was like, "Oh, do you want a pastry for 99 cents?" It's like
Why is
it's
that
like
so
they
cheap?
they brainstorm ways of how to keep us fat.
Yeah.
They really
And
do,
then,
because you can supersize your food for just 50 cents.
hmm.
What's your thought? What are you saying?
I no, I completely agree with you. And the thing that I like is, like Janika said in the chats. I always, whenever I'm doing a live stream, I always have to like not look over there because I'll be like, zoned in. But she said,
Mm-hmm.
like she has to take multiple showers a day because the foods that she eats run through her. And then, but we also have these people who say they don't want to go to the bathroom. Oh, I don't want to be on the toilet all day. You need to. You need to.
You know what's even worse? You have people, as I said, I was a trainer, we'd have to ask these questions, how often you go to the bathroom. You have people who do number two, like probably like twice a week. And I'm like, what? That's not, that's not, that's not healthy. That's not
Yeah,
normal.
like how? like so where's the food going? It's just sitting there. There's a problem. There's a problem.
And we, to even bring it full circle, we're having this conversation to highlight the issue in our community, because we don't talk about this enough. We do not talk about it. And earlier we brought up Dr. Shaharazad Ali. Is she a doctor or sister? I think she's sister. Sister Shaharazad Ali.
Yeah, she's sister, yeah.
And
That's not
she
funny.
she talked about how when she was advising people to stop eating the pork, and she realized that they were still eating the pork, and she did her research and find out that it was the women who were making the stuff. The women are the teachers in the household. The women are the one who cooks the food, who decide. And I know on Monday when we were talking, and the young lady mentioned that she dated a guy who he liked eating out and stuff. Like,
Oh
okay,
yes. Okay.
as your job as the wife, like,
Then
so when you
y'all
have
need a
kids, you
cooking
mean some of you
channel.
guys are going to still be eating? It's like we need to get out of this mindset, and we need to start taking our health a little bit more seriously. So you were going to say something?
No, I'm 100% right there with you. And the thing is like, okay, say for instance, even like our most common foods, right? Curry chicken with rice and peas, or curry chicken bus up shot. That's how I like to eat my curry chicken. I'm just being honest. But like when we have like the stewed chicken, the this. Yes, I personally know for a fact that you should. I mean, if you can be vegan, that is the best way to be. We know that. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate, right? Like, I eat as alkaline as possible. But I'm just saying, people who cook these traditional foods, right? You have to know that these foods are way better than anything that you can buy from a can, that you can buy from a this, that you can buy from a that, because at least, I mean, although they're altering all that kind of stuff now too, but at least what's being put into your food. At least you have control over the salt intake. And I saw somebody in the comments like, oh yeah, I don't want to give up meat. And I understand that. Like, if you want to eat chicken or whatever, to each their own. Your health is literally in your own hands. However, at least you need to prepare these foods for you, because the people who are outside, they're doing it for taste. And what is going to keep you coming back and buying more? The salt. You have to watch your sodium intakes as well as your sugar intakes, because when that goes into your body, the things that happen to your brain function.
You're so sweet.
We talk about diseases like Alzheimer's, and we talk about dementia and stuff like that. Where does that stuff come from? You have to do your research.
Yeah, please. Do
Like,
your research.
remember, why is it affecting your memory? Think about that.
Exactly. And shout out to Ike if he's still in this chat. On Sunday, we did a live stream, and he mentioned that, the more you eat these things, the more you crave them. I remember when I was living in Jamaica, and I don't really see much here, grape soda. I don't really see it in America, but I know we used to have grape soda a lot in Jamaica.
They got grape soda here.
The thought of me not drinking grape soda was like, what? I used to drink probably like 3 bottles every day, right? Then of course I moved to America, and we didn't have grape soda. And it's
got grape soda.
When you tell yourself that you can't give up something, then you can't give up something. Because I don't eat meat anymore. I only eat seafood, right? Never in a million years did they tell me that I could give up chicken. Like, that was my thing. Like, I was like, I have to have my chicken. It's been 3 years since I had chicken.
So I
Go
like
ahead.
that I like that you said that. So I don't eat seafood, right? Like I don't eat any shellfish.
Right.
If I do eat fish, it's like a salmon or like a snapper, like a fish that has scales, right? Like a fish. But I don't eat red meat. I don't eat pork. And for a while, I didn't eat chicken. I'm not gonna lie, I did not eat chicken for a while. So I was only eating, like I said, as alkaline as possible. And the meal replacements, and even now, like I'll eat chicken maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. And it's really just because of certain dishes and the texture and stuff like that. So it's really not even something that I'm standing firm on, right? But mushrooms, there's a mushroom that can taste like anything. Like there's mushrooms that have different textures. You can literally have the same exact foods. And that's where I always say, like, us being Jamaican, we have an advantage because we already know about the Rastas, how the Rastas them eat the Ital food, and the way that they remix things, like the jerk, mushroom, taco, and the this and the that. So we already have that knowledge, but I always like to speak about that with people here as well, with different cultures, that like, hey, like, all you have to do is just clean the mushrooms and season it the exact same way, and it's going to taste the exact same.
Exactly. Listen, my aunt, and shout out to the super chat. She said, I lost 65 plus pounds and I have PCOS. No excuses. You can do it. Exactly. PCOS is one of the shout out to you. PCOS is one of the main excuse that I see. The main excuse. And honestly, one of the reasons why I stopped being a personal trainer is mostly because of these excuses. Right? Like I just couldn't. Like one client said, oh, she can't eat healthy because her kitchen is too small. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I know. I love the point you said about you can jazz up your food, not because you're going vegan or not because you're cutting out chicken or something. Doesn't mean that you just gotta eat. I remember my friend used to do bodybuilding and he would just eat unseasoned chicken breast and broccoli because he's getting on stage, so he have to do that.
Oh yeah,
but,
right.
But not because you're eating healthy. It doesn't mean it have to be boring. And society has made us believe that eating healthy is boring, it's tasteless, you can't add any little sauce or seasoning to it, and that's why so many people refrain from visiting a healthier lifestyle. As you guys come in, please do not forget to like this live stream.
Yeah,
there are 201 people watching. Shout out to everybody who is watching. Don't forget to hit.
Now, don't forget, the video is supposed to be how fat women are. Detrimental to our community. Do they mean the fat women or do they mean the food that they have around them? Are they talking about food? And then this one lady says, I've lost 65 pounds, plus I have PCOS. Okay, you have polyps. You have little polyps on your ovaries. That's it. No excuse. You can do it. I hate when people take their lives and think it's somebody else's life. Nobody wants to have hypertension. Nobody wants to have diabetes. We all know that if you don't take care of yourself, yes, that's the way it's going. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that detrimental. I'm not gonna say that the food that's around us is not detrimental to our health. I'm not gonna say it's not. I'm not gonna say what we put in our mouths. Are we feeding our bodies or are we feeding our cravings? I'm not gonna make that an argument. But my argument is that people, you have to take it slow with people. You have to see what are their reasons. What are their reasons? And some people do need help. Some people need help. Some people, and then some people, they do all they can and the weight don't come off fully. Some people are big by nature, and I don't mean obese. I mean people are big bone by nature. It is what it is. It is what it is. Some people are just never going to be skinny, and some people are never going to be big. That is just part of life. I'm not talking about obese. But even if you are obese, don't count yourself out. Do not count yourself out. Look for help. Look for videos that can help you. Look for videos that could show you how to eat more healthier foods. Or, you know, go to a therapist and talk out whatever is blocking you from having a healthier life. Yes, we all want and need a healthier life. They did not explain how fat women are detrimental to our community, unless they're trying to say that we're killing by feeding us the wrong food, our children the wrong food, and our husband the wrong food. We are killing them. So the man doesn't have anything to say, right? Because the woman does cooking, the man has nothing to say, but the man is the leader. But women go to the doctor more than men. So you would think that men would say more, oh no, we're not eating this, we're eating that, and that is what the woman is going to cook. That is what the woman is going to cook. So there's no need to play the full video because they're talking about fat women. And I think that they're not detrimental to the community. They just need help. Just like women who wear bonnets are not detrimental to their community, they just need help. A lot of things that you want to shame people about, they just need a little help. Ask yourself, hey, tray host, you have to ask yourself, hey, doctor, tray host, how you doing, king? You have to ask yourself if, hey, miss, how you doing? How is your day? Because the minute you shame them, they're going to stay stuck in the predicament that they are in. Yeah, people are fat a lot for reasons. Yes, for reasons. People are fat for a lot of reasons. Exactly. And they try to make it seem like, yeah, we got, so just be careful how you talk to people. And like I said, I cannot disagree with the video. I can't. It's true. But what I can say is it's more to what they're saying than what they're saying. It's more to it. But I like my girl. What is her name? Nivea? I'll get your name right one of these days. Hopefully you come on the show one day. Hopefully you can come on the show. I'm going to ask her to come on over here. Yes, that's right, Miss Rod. Medication plays a big part. And people don't understand that. And their way of saying is, even if it's a medicine, you can still eat right. It has nothing to do with eating right. So before we talk about people, let's get to know where they're coming from. Then you could say, hey, that's just being lazy. So I'm going to end this video. And yes, I'm coming back with another one. Don't worry about it. You got me all day. But I'm out of here for now. And if you agree with what they're saying, leave a comment down below. If you don't, leave a comment down below. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.